So I don't know if you know this, but Disney is definitely struggling right now. Despite CEO Bob Iger's triumphant return last year, the media giant is grappling with substantial losses in both the film industry and even the stock market as it endeavors to reverse its fortunes. A recent Bloomberg report sheds light on Disney's internal struggles, even leading Bob Iger to humorously lament his decision to come back. Among the concepts under consideration by Disney's leadership is apparently a bold transformation, that is what they are calling it, which shifts from a gaming licensee to a major gaming powerhouse through the acquisition of a major publisher such as EA. This strategic move could potentially grant Disney access to the substantial annual revenue generated by EA Sports with, Madden, NFL, and EA's other microtransaction-driven games. And it would also complement ESPN, which Disney considers a cornerstone of its business. Alternatively, Disney might explore acquiring studios falling under the newly established EA Entertainment label, including prominent names like BioWare and Respawn. It is worth noting that Respawn is responsible for one of the more popular Star Wars licensed games, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. EA seems to be positioning itself for acquisition by splitting its studios into EA Sports and EA Entertainment divisions, making it way more convenient for a potential buyer to target a specific segment of its business rather than the whole thing. Ubisoft is another publisher being considered as a potential acquisition target. Now, Disney has a storied history in the gaming industry, dating back to the days of Disney Interactive Studios, which produced titles like Disney Infinity and Epic Mickey. However, Disney ultimately closed this studio for good in 2016. Now, as for Bob Iger, he appears to be on the fence regarding a return to the gaming space. While Disney Illusion Island was released earlier this year with mixed reviews, it remains one of the options as the CEO Bob Iger endeavors to steer Disney in the right direction. The Bloomberg Report highlights his other efforts, such as cutting content from Disney Plus and doubling the streaming platform's price to mitigate losses, but there is still a very substantial journey ahead. A little side note too, there is a Disney racing game called Disney Speedstorm. I see that it was just released like a week or two ago. It's basically like Disney Mario Kart. And I don't know how accurate this is, so keep that in mind, but I saw on the Xbox store when I was sorting games, well, I was in the free games and I was sorting it by popularity. This new Disney game, this Disney Speedstorm, it was the #1 free-to-play game on Xbox at that time. This was a few days ago, so I mean, yeah, it was like a week old at that point. But something to keep in mind, it looks like there is, for some reason, a very big demand for this Disney racing game. Looks like this was made by a company called Gameloft, so, once again, Disney is kind of using third-party studios to make these games. They're not going all in on a gaming studio themselves. But I don't know, it sounds like they are definitely considering it, as sales with Disney Plus are not doing the greatest, and, as we have seen with some other companies as well, with your Amazon and your Apple and your Google, companies that don't really do things with games usually, we've seen them very recently turn to video games. And it is kind of too early to tell, like, if that will be successful overall in the long run. But it sounds like Disney might not wait to see how everything turns out with the other companies. It sounds like they may actually be putting their foot in the door very, very soon.